Mountain West opener for both of these teams, and Utah State a 20-3 halftime lead. Rich Waltz along with Aaron Taylor. Jenny Dell will join us shortly. You don't often see San Diego State have a half like that in this stadium, do you?
Man, they were very, very sloppy. The penalties, the turnovers, lack of execution on third down. The story of the first half was really the Aggies defensively.
All right, let's take a look at some of the highlights. Defense setting the tone for Utah State.
Well, after a pretty fast start, San Diego State had the ball for 7 minutes and was 4 for 5 on third down, but then the Aggies kicked in, and it really was this pick six that turned the tone of the game. This gave the Aggies some confidence, and defensively, they really made it hard for the Aztecs to move the football, and then you give it to Jalen Warren, their big, beefy running back, into the drive right before the half. But really, the story of the game is how poorly the Aztecs have performed on third down. They've held the ball almost twice as long as Utah State. Started the game 4 for 4 on third down. Since then, 0 for 7.
Yikes. And to top off a terrific first half, Utah State's going to get the football to start the second half.
Critical for the Aztecs to find a way to get this ball back and get a stop. They cannot let Utah score anymore. As it is right now at 17 points, it's going to be hard for them to climb back in.
Let's check in with Jenny Dell. Jenny?
Well, guys, I always appreciate a good Rocky Long conversation. Now, before the game, he said, when you're outmatched, what do you need to do? You need to play good defense, don't turn the ball over, and keep their offense off the field. So I asked him, how do you think you did in the first half? He said, well, clearly we didn't do that. We were very outmatched, and we dug ourselves in a hole. I asked, can you dig yourselves out? And his answer, I don't know. We'll find out. Guys.
All right.
Thanks, Jenny.
He is a throwback guy who has had a lot of success. And we'll find out. First, the defense is going to have to figure out Jordan Love and the weapons that he has. Savon Scarver's been outstanding. Cioce Mariner has been a target. Jalen Warren has had a great night so far rushing the football. And they carry it out to the 29-yard line. That's a gain of maybe 1. Tizino made the stop.
Tizino's such a ball hawk, man. He is all over the field. They're going to test him, though. This is where Love's at his best, distributing the football quickly.
Well, look at Warren bounce off tacklers. Broke 2 tackles. Finally, Kyrie Woods hauled him down. And they're going to mark that at the 36-yard line. The clock on our bug right now is off. There's 4:15. Clock is running. There you go. That's good quick work downstairs to the 40 on that 3rd down and 2. Cameron Thomas made the stop, and Warren plows forward for another 3rd down conversion.
This tackle on 2nd down set up a 3rd manageable, and they convert.
Now Love, who had a solid first half, throws like that.
That's
Jordan Nathan the catch.
That's just simple pitch and catch right there. Zone defense. They're going to break their rats off. A lot of curls, a lot of hitches underneath to get them in some second and very manageables here. That's what they do. And Mike Sanford, the offensive coordinator, he wants to bait you to kind of play a little bit tighter and then use some of that speed on the outside edge, like Savon Scarver and Devin Tompkins.
That one goes nowhere, and you're going to look at a 3rd down. See where they mark it, right at the line of scrimmage. So 3rd down and a long 3.
We've seen Utah State go to the screens, draws, and delays. Their quarterback's extremely mobile. San Diego State only rushes 4.
Love puts it in a tight window there. Mariner has the catch. That's a 1st down.
Mariner's his go-to target on 3rd down. Extremely tight coverage, but look at the location of that football. Even with a defensive back in phase, 80 comes down with it because of how well it was thrown.
Out of the backfield, caught there, and that's Carson Terrell. And Terrell inside San Diego State territory, out of bounds at the 31-yard line. Sticks are moving. Hurry up offense, lots of up-tempo. Spot the ball and snap it. Love pumps, little sidearm flick Flags go down. Tompkins, the intended receiver. This could be an offensive lineman downfield or pass interference. There was contact there as well.
It's interesting. It came in very late and only got thrown a couple feet from where the pass was caught. Just the timing and location were odd there.
Good to see the Mountain West officials have kept their offseason training going.
Ineligible receiver downfield. Offense number 58. 5-yard penalty. First down.
Good call, partner. That's Dimitri Aliafua, the center. See him dislodge right there. And that's why the flag got thrown late in the way that it did. See that a lot on run pass options where it's a called run play, but depending on the way the overhang player, the linebacker or safety, depending on who the read man is, plays it, they have the option to throw it as they did there.
They'll fire it out. That's Taylor Compton with the catch, and he's escorted out of bounds. And that shows you the versatility of Jordan Love. He's not just a drop back, tall guy in the pocket. He can move it and throw it on the run.
He's got a butter smooth delivery, and his touch passing is impressive.
Warren. I like that, butter smooth. Is that on the NFL Scouts report?
It would be on mine. I love some butter. But it's almost effortless, his throwing motion. And on those short intermediate passes, he just puts it right where it needs to be.
Love has lots of time. Scrambling, looking. Oh! That one he got away with. Caleb Repp was the tight end in the pattern, and Love threw it right by him.
Was a little bit behind him, and Tariq Thompson, who missed a tackle earlier on this down, the ball hits him in his hands. Those are the sorts of opportunities that San Diego State needs to get back in this game, and they missed it.
2nd down and 10. When Mike Sanford took the offensive coordinator job, one of the selling points was watching film of this guy. And as a junior, Sanford walked in, said he saw some room to improve on some fundamentals, and they've cleaned up a few things. 2nd down and 10. Fires it to the sideline. That's Rep. Good tackle there by Darren Hall. This is going to be short of the first down. It'll be 3rd down and about 3.
For the Aztecs, you got to bow your neck. Jalen Warren has proven an ability to break tackles. You got to get him on the ground.
This is Love, and he's not going to get it. That's a great stop. Hall in pursuit. Miles Cheatham kind of flushed him out, and Hall finished him off.
Miles Cheatham does an excellent job here. The defensive end, he's got contained. He maintained leverage there, misses the tackle, but holds Love up just enough to where the pursuit can get there. Another huge 3rd down and red zone stop by this Aztec defense.
Here is Eberle. 2 for 2 tonight. 4 for 4 on the season. Make it 5 for 5. The guy who is teaching Gary Anderson about European soccer, the Nuremberg, Germany native. Gary said, I have no idea what's going on with a soccer match, but Dominic is always there to tell me what's going on. He's hit all 3 tonight. You're watching the Mountain West on CBS Sports Network.
College football on CBS Sports Network is sponsored by the General Insurance. Get a free anonymous online quote now. By Greeny's Dental Treats. And by Nissan, premier partner of the Heisman Trophy.
A Leroy Glover sighting. Always good to have that. Bobby Wagner, one of the 3 Aggies at linebacker spot in the NFL. You got Nick Vigil, Kyler Fackrell, Bobby Wagner. And right now, Utah State in control of this game. Surprisingly, 23-3. Jordan Bird across the 25. Bird He was taken to the locker room with a apparent leg injury in the first half. Came back. First half possessions. It started out so well for San Diego State.
This is an ugly chart. Take a look at that very first drive. 16 plays, 70 yards, field goal, 7 minutes of clock time. Perfect. Started out 4 for 5 on third down. 0 for 7 to finish the half. They just could not move the sticks. This offense isn't good enough to try to plod down the field. I think they need to change strategy here and take some deep shots, but they're dead last in the Mountain West Conference in explosive plays.
Agnew on play action. Wanders to his right, now dashing for the sideline. He's not going to get there. Shaq Bond, who's been everywhere. And if you're looking for an early leader in the Mountain West Defensive Player of the Week poll, it's probably this guy. On that chart, you saw the interception was in red, and that's because that guy took it 48 yards back for a touchdown on the second San Diego State possession.
6 total tackles now. A tackle for loss. Obviously the pick 6 for a touchdown. He's having a heck of a night.
On the ground, this is Jordan Byrd.
It's good to see him back, as we mentioned earlier in the broadcast, this running back room with the loss of Juwan Washington, who was a 10-touchdown, 1,000-yard rusher a year ago. Some of the younger guys have had to step up, and they've done a nice job with that. The Aztecs here in this ball game have done a decent job of giving themselves third manageable situations, but they've got to convert these. Utah State has not made that easy.
Of their last 7 on third down. This one a short pop. Ethan Dado makes the catch, and that moves the sticks. That's a first down.
Nice job of standing tall in the pocket by Agnew, followed by good protection. It's just a quick slant from the left-hand side. Ball is low and away from the defender, and Dado comes up with a nice grab.
Juwan Washington, remember, he hurt his ankle against Weber State. That was the first game. 41 carries through 2 games. Did not play last week at New Mexico State. Little toss. That's Jordan Byrd coming around, and he'll get popped out of bounds. It's a gain of maybe 3. On the bright side, if you're San Diego State, you're down 23-3, but your defense 3 times has forced Utah State to settle for a field goal. This very easily could be 35-3.
Rich, the defense has played well enough to keep San Diego State in this ballgame. They've only given up 1 true touchdown. That was to Jalen Warren on the ground right before the second half, but the offense just isn't doing their job.
Agnew scrambling again. Out of the pocket he goes, racing for the sideline, and he's pushed out of bounds. DJ Williams hit him. That's a positive case.
That was awfully close. But how many times have we seen this tonight? Ryan Agnew dropping back with nowhere to throw. He's making good decisions. He's not putting the ball in harm's way. But it's going to be really hard for them to get back in this ball game. And man, if you're DJ Williams, you got to be really careful there on the sidelines. He's lucky he didn't get flagged for a personal foul there.
That may be one where if Agnew went down, the flag might follow. But he stayed up. It's 1st and 10. The 42 of Utah State. Again, this is Jesse Matthews coming around. It looks like San Diego State's trying to get the ball in space now to guys like Matthews and Byrd.
They're working the perimeter, and good on them. The problem is Utah State is doing a relatively nice job at times of maintaining contain. If you can get this Aggie defense running sideline to sideline, that's going to open them up inside to that power and counter game that the Aztecs have almost made famous.
Second down 3, little forward pitch. And Byrd is swallowed up. Shaq Bond. And Justice Tehi.
Shaq Bond, man, just keep an eye on him hitting this ball downhill. This is a pin and pull, a crack replace right there. He just gets himself up into the line of scrimmage. The left guard, Deshaun Dixon, tried to get a hat on him. But the Aggies been making plays like that all night, making it hard to move the rock.
Probably 4 down territory, and that's a first down. So the Aztecs all of a sudden are starting to convert the third downs. As you pointed out, they were 4 of their first 4, and then a drought, and that's not a good sign. Chase Jasmine headed to the sideline. Jawan Washington apparently not available tonight. Jordan Bird went out with a leg injury and then came back. And now Jasmine to the sidelines. Jeff Horton right now trying to get this offense into the end zone.
And that's what they have to do. A field goal is not good enough here. I think this is almost a must-have situation where the Aztecs have to get in the end zone.
Agnew on 1st and 10. Time. And it's caught there. Kobe Smith. And finally a nice play down the field. Smith, a 20-yard pickup.
You're going to see Kobe Smith race across the formation there, just over the outstretched hands of Shaq Bond, who's had a heck of a game, and 92 is there to pull it down to get him to the 10-yard line. That was the deepest, longest pass we've seen tonight from San Diego State.
1st and goal. Bird. And nothing there. Christopher Unga made the stop. In the Verizon red zone right now, San Diego State. 5 of 12 trips with a touchdown. That's well below the national average.
This is where you want to spread Utah State out with the 3 and the 4 wide receivers to try to run up inside. They've got Parker Houston there in the backfield, it looks like. He's kind of their modern day of the fullback with this style of offense. They've found some ways to get some space to run here in this situation.
Following Houston, cutting in, Chance Bell to the 5. And it will be 3rd down and goal from the 5. David Woodward made the stop.
The last time they were down in this part of the field, on the other end of the field, they dropped back pass and took a shot at the end zone, and the receiver was out of bounds. It's critical here, and without question, this is 4-down territory. So if you're the Aztecs, you can still afford to run the football here. The official is holding the ball so that Utah State can make a substitution.
That's because San Diego State made a substitution. 3rd down and goal. Agnew in trouble, and he's enveloped by Aggies. Nick Henninger, the sophomore, the transfer from Utah.
There was some pressure, obviously, a 4-man rush. The offensive line's got to hang in there. Agnew feels pressure, but unfortunately, keep your eye right here on the goal line, right there. If he doesn't feel that pressure and he can step up, that's a guaranteed touchdown. Now it's 4th and goal from the 15-yard line.
Wow, and they are going for it.
I think you almost have to. In a normal situation, no way, but here it's a must.
Agnew, end zone, knockdown, incomplete, and Utah State holds.
It's San Diego State trying to make a play in 4th and 15, almost getting to be desperation time. Aggies defense holds.
Let's do some Chick-fil-A here, right? Chick-fil-A fan cam in San Diego. This is a great tailgate scene. And inside the stadium, Rocky Long, you said on that drive they needed a touchdown, not a field goal, and he was thinking right along with you.
And the sack could have been avoidable, and it could have been a touchdown, even though it was 4th and goal from the 15. It's still the right decision. When you have an offense like this, it's almost like you're a triple option, like your Air Force. You're simply going to run out of time, especially when you can score as quickly as Utah State can. Now it's almost imperative that this defense somehow find a way to either get themselves off the field here early or force a turnover.
What was it Mike Sanford told us this week? He said San Diego State thrives on turnovers, and that's something that Utah State has not given San Diego State. Jalen Warren is down. He's kind of walking like it might be a cramp.
Look how thick those calves are, and his lower body's such a physical runner. But I agree with you. What we're looking at there, you never want to speculate. But I got to say, man, it's humid up here in the booth. Got to stay hydrated. It's hard to see anything happen there, but man, he's got those knotted up calves, kind of like a little bulldog. That's what allows him to be so physical in between the tackles. You don't have calves like that, Rich.
That's, oh, that one goes through the legs. Love's in his end zone. He's going to flick it all the way out of bounds. Now, from where he was on the fields,
there is no foul for intentional grounding. Number 1 was in the area.
Oof.
Third down.
That's fortunate.
Yes, it was, but man, just an errant snap that time by Ali Afua, almost hugely costly there. That's just the sort of thing that the Aztecs are looking for.
Because he was almost in the end zone, which would have been a safety.
That is just the sort of thing to turn a football game around. The Aggies got really lucky there.
They're down 4. Ali Afua directing the offensive line. Love behind him in the shotgun. Stands up, fires, caught there. That's Scarver, who's been open seemingly all night.
Great protection that time by the Aggies offensive line. Love was sitting back there eating sandwiches, and it was simple pitch and catch in front of the soft zone coverage.
That's Gerald Bright. Now, if you are Utah State, I saw Steve Fisher, the legendary basketball coach. In basketball, sometimes they say, don't take the air out of the ball if you're running up-tempo stuff. Fired to the sideline. If you're Utah State, you know, the clock is your ally, but they do what they do. They're not about to change and take a look at the play clock and let it run down.
It's completely disruptive if you're an up-tempo offense, if you slow things down to bleed the clock. Quite frankly, with the way the Aztecs are playing offensively, they don't need to do that.
Jordan Love. For many of you, it's your first look at this guy. He's had a terrific run. He's 15-6 as a starter at Utah State. Terrell with a catch. He breaks 3 tackles. And Tariq Thompson made the stop.
It's been a mixed bag for tackling tonight for San Diego State. Tariq Thompson usually is a sure tackler. He gets one there, but we've seen him miss many others. And when it's a one-on-one situation out there in the flat, you've got to make those plays. Mike Sanford doing an excellent job dialing up one-on-one situations, forcing the Aztecs to tackle. And they've simply missed some that have allowed this offense to keep moving.
Second down 12. Utah State moving the football, a 23-3 lead. San Diego State opening possession. Took it length of the field, didn't get a touchdown, got a field goal, and that's all they have, and that's right through the hands of Savon Scarver.
Looks like we have an injury to Andy Koch, the right tackle. He's got his hand on his
Injury timeout.
right leg there as he gets tended to.
Yeah, we're gonna go to break.
Utah State's on top. We'll be back after this. Utah State a 23-3 lead late in the third. Andy Koch, a talented right tackle.
You see him plant on that outside leg, that right leg, and he can't put any weight off of it as he's heading over to the tent to be evaluated. But Koch is a converted D lineman, but the coaches, particularly Gary Anderson, telling us that he thought that Koch, had the biggest upside for all these linemen.
Kyler Hack, the sophomore out of Las Vegas, is going to come in and take over.
Hack started at left tackle against Stony Brook last week, so he's an experienced offensive lineman just playing on the other side.
They're down at 12 and the ball is loose again. And that's the third time that Utah State has botched a direct snap to Love, and that's right in his hands.
Look how close this is to a turnover. Oh my goodness. Caden McDonald almost was able to fall on that ball, and Ali Afua with the errant snaps really putting his team in jeopardy.
And I think Love on that one say, hey, look, my bad. He looked like he took his eye off the the snap, trying to gauge coverage or the rush. And so San Diego State gets the football back, and they are in need of offense. Instant offense is what they need here. Utah State 23, San Diego State 3 in the Mountain West tonight. 23-3 Utah State on top of San Diego State. Coming up next, CBS Sports Network heads to Las Vegas. Some Muay Thai mayhem. See who'll bring home the world super lightweight title at Lion Fight 60, 24-hour home of CBS Sports. And our top 10 AP poll is powered by Ram Trucks. Aaron Taylor, what do you see?
Well, I see my Irish are probably going to fall out of that top 10. Florida taking care of business. Utah's loss to USC was really head-scratching. That could put the Pac-12's championship hopes in peril because that league typically cannibalizes itself. But I don't know if we fully know just how good anybody is yet, except maybe Ohio State and Oklahoma.
Agnew on play action, and that is incomplete.
Rich, let's go take a look back at that fumble snap before. Keep your eye on Love's eyes. He takes his eyes off the football right as Chiava Tazzino was going to do a cross dog blitz. The snap wasn't exactly where it needed to be, but before I lose my offensive lineman street cred, I want to maybe not be so hard on Ali Afua. Quarterback got distracted there and aided that play being on the ground.
You're still a card-carrying member of the Offensive Line's Guild. That's hard yardage there for Chance Bell. And the first down, the line of scrimmage guy took a good solid hit. Pops back. I'm all right.
I'm good.
I'm all right.
I'm good. There's Woodward, man. But look at the power that Bell is running with, man. These backs are undersized, but they run physically. It reminds me a lot of Donnell Pumphrey, who was a slightly built dude at maybe 175 pounds. NCAA's all-time leading rusher, was able to run with a tremendous amount of physicality.
Here comes a blitz. Agnew gets rid of it. That is going to be right on the stick. Isaiah Richardson made the catch. It should be a first down. And yes, it is. They're going to move the chains. That's a first down.
But this is what we were talking about, Rich, about going forward on 4th and goal from the 15. This offense just simply can't strike down the field. They've only had 8 plays all season long of over 20 yards. They're dead last in the Mountain West Conference.
So they need to be mercurial and not methodical.
They've got to find a way to explode and get some chunk plays.
And those final seconds of the third quarter just run out. Well, San Diego State and Rocky Long are in a 20-point hole. Can they climb out tonight against a really good Utah State team? College football on CBS Sports Network, presented by Old Trapper Beef Jerky. Impressive night tonight for Utah State here on a really tough road venue in the Mountain West. 23-3. And you see opening drive, San Diego State got a field goal, and that is it. The Schwartz, Aaron Taylor, Jenny Dell here, and Agnew on one foot gets it out to Chance Bell, who has the catch.
Excellent job that time of sitting in the pocket for Agnew, finding the open receiver. There was a defender draped on him that had a hold of his foot right there, and he still was able to deliver the football.
It's a 9-yard pickup, 2nd down and 1.
And they actually ran a receiver on a go route that time. Couldn't believe my eyes. They've got to do more of that. I know we're having some fun here at San Diego State's expense offensively. But they've got to do something because they're simply going to run out of time. Throwing the football, 4.3 yards per attempt. That's just simply not going to be good enough against a defense. The defense for the Aztecs is holding, but 20 points is a lot to make up against somebody as proficient as Jordan Love on the other side of the football.
Aztecs have run for about 140 yards.
But less than 4 yards per carry. Utah State is balling out.
Yeah, not a lot of second-level stuff, is it? There's a catch there, and Bell races up the sideline. Hauled out of bounds by Williams. First down into Utah State territory.
That was good. Just a simple drop back. Hits the back out of the backfield. Breakdown that time, Utah State. They don't account for Bell. Gets out of the backfield, moves the chains. This is the sort of tempo that San Diego State needs to do. Maybe take a page out of Utah State's book.
From the 33, they'll keep it on the ground. And off the right side, again, Bell. That's about a 7-yard gain. Aztecs, at the same time they're moving the football, they need to be aware of clock. They need to make sure they're in and out and get into the play, because Utah State's been able to eat up clock when they get the ball.
It's almost like they're still in the mode that they started the game. The situation is completely different. You're in the fourth quarter. There's only 13 minutes. And look, the play clock's down to 12 seconds here. Just simply too much time to mechanically get in and out.
Maybe a little trickeration here instead. Just getting out of bounds is Jordan Byrd. Metzenheimer made the stop.
This is just a great job of Utah State being all over this. They're trying to sneak out. Take a look at that. They got 3-on-1. The Aggies weren't falling for anything. They were trying to get the ball down the field. But that's reading your keys and being disciplined on that defensive side.
They even had the back door covered with Devin Anderson shadowing Agnew as he wandered out in that left flat. Third down 4. Agnew rushed and under duress. That's a catch. Kobe Smith. First down. Chains move.
Beautiful job that time. And Agnew throwing the football to that side of the field. Look at that location. Beautiful. Low and away so that Smith can protect the football with his body, making it virtually impossible for Haney to make a play. All the while with pressure in his face. Kid's pretty tough, man. He sticks in there.
First down inside the 20. Agnew's throw in and out of the hands of Kobe Smith. There were 3 Aggies around him. Shaq Bond.
Just inexcusable. You have to make this catch. Hits him right in his hands. It's almost like he looked up too late for the football and caught him by surprise. You can't make a great play on third down to convert the sticks and then drop a pass that would have put you inside the 5-yard line. That's the inconsistency that's plagued this offense through the first 4 games.
See the drive, 11th play. Good spin. Flag is down. Byrd close to the end zone, out of bounds, but the flag is back at the 23-yard line.
It's going to be on the right tackle, Jacob Capra.
Holding, offense, number 77, 10-yard penalty from the previous spot, second down.
Critical penalties in critical areas, just can't do it. There he is on the right side. He had his right hand across his chest and was pulling down to impede his progress to try to bring down Jordan Byrd. And that just crushes you down there in this part of the field where this is a must-have touchdown situation if the Aztecs are going to get back in this game.
Ball's backed up to the 29. Got to get to the 9-yard line for a first down. It's a 2nd and 20. Ryan Agnew is flushed. And he's going to take it out of bounds.
Goes from bad to worse. You can start to hear the crowd be a little disgruntled. Agnew turns his back to the line of scrimmage on the play action. When he turns around, there's pressure, so he's got to vacate the pocket. Just simply has nowhere to throw. Utah State is putting a clinic on how to pressure the quarterback and limit the throwing opportunities.
Does that technically go as a sack? Because it should. I mean, it's a huge loss of yardage.
No question.
It's a loss of 6. 3rd and 26. Agnew fires it to the flat. Caught there by Jasmine, racing for the sideline. Gets there, but he's well short of the first down. And as we've pointed out, San Diego State doesn't need 3, they need 7. Rocky Long. This is going to be another long 4th down. They went for it on 4th and goal from 13 yards out with 4 minutes left in the 3rd quarter. So there's no question at 4th and 16 here. 10.5 left in the ball game. Ryan Agnew, San Diego State. In a hole, Agnew's in trouble. Flushed from there, escapes, sets.
Gotta throw it, give him a chance.
Fires, man wide open, caught, touchdown. That's Smith, who almost dropped it.
Well, here's Smith at the bottom of your screen. I circled him right before the snap of the football, but the pressure breaks him down outside the pocket. Then it becomes a scramble drill. Utah State, discombobulated, completely loses sight of Smith, who bobbles the ball, but luckily brings it down for the much-needed touchdown. I don't know if it gets any uglier than that, but that is exactly what the Aztecs needed.
Absolutely. 10 minutes left here. Extra point is good. San Diego State is finally in the end zone. And man, was it an adventure.
Well, you got to give credit to the Aztecs, man. They are trying to find a way. They needed a touchdown. They got it done. Hail Montezuma.
Aztecs in the end zone and down 13 now with 10 minutes left in this ball game. CBS Sports Network, under the lights on Friday night, 8 Eastern in the Mountain West. How about San Jose State beating Arkansas today? They'll take on Air Force in the 24-hour home of CBS Sports.
Well, Rich, let's go take a look at that play. There's Tipa Galay right there, who's usually a defensive end. They're going to rush the passer with only 3 players, but Galay's going to spy. Nalia, excuse me, he's going to spy and then unhinge, and it's that pressure there that he brings that creates this opportunity to Kobe Smith. Utah State rushing 3, dropping 8, still got pressure, but in the end ended up breaking down for the touchdown.
Our keys to the game brought to you by Greenies. Let's go back and take a look.
Well, we talked about Utah State protecting the football, 0 turnovers. Beautiful. Win on 3rd down. Look at what they did after San Diego State started 4 for 4. Offensively, control the line of scrimmage, 33 minutes of time of possession, but they've only got 10 points out of it. And for defensively, creating negative plays, 6 tackles for loss is good, but what the Aztecs needed was turnovers, and they have yet to generate them. Here's another opportunity. If they want to win this game and make it interesting, they've got to find a way to steal a possession here. He's a good man to do it right there. He's their best pass rusher from that middle linebacker position to Zeno.
First down on the ground, Gerald Bright. And let's see how Utah State tries to move the football. They're not really at a tempo to run clock unless they move the sticks. Play action, Love. In the pockets, looks so comfortable there. And Scarver has the catch, and that's a first down. That'll move the sticks out to the 38-yard line. Love is enjoying a really nice night here in San Diego.
Certainly has. He's been on fire, man. Just when you watch a tape on him, it seems like he's a half-field reader because he's always throwing it to his first or second guy. Some of that's by design because the plays are good and you keep them open. Other times, he's just pulling the trigger so dang quickly. But look at that, 26 of 40 for 259 yards. Deadly accurate.
On the ground, Bright. Gerald Bright, tough to bring down. He's got a first down on a 12-yard carry and a pile right at midfield. Bright started his career as a wide receiver. Right now, Rocky Long has got to dial up a stop with his defense.
They got to figure out a way to do something. Too many missed tackles there on that last play. Low snap again.
Love's throw. That's a catch, and that's Mariner. He may have seen more targets tonight than he had in a long time when he was a Utah Ute.
That was his 9th target. Pretty dang good coverage that time by Barku, but a catch nonetheless.
Second down, flags and whistles.
The ruling on the field was a completed catch. The previous play is under further review.
It's a good call by the officials there to take another look at it. With the speed that this offense runs, things happen pretty quickly.
Well, that obviously was the play that was blown at. This is the catch. And that's one of the issues. You can have a great shot of it, and if someone walks into the shot, you don't have a clear look.
Just as Tariq Thompson did, just at the moment the ball reached Mariner's hands.
But obviously there are other angles. We'll take a look at those as well. This is a good one. Yeah.
So here's the deal. It's a one-handed catch by Mariner. Barku's got his hands in there. And this is the play that happened immediately after that they ruled dead.
And of course the original call holds weight, because to overturn the completion you have to be 100% sure that it wasn't. There's no guesswork here.
Thompson cuts that angle off, but the angle we saw right before this, the ball does look like it hits the ground, which it can do if you maintain possession. That is a one-handed catch. The ball does hit the ground, but to me, Mariner has and maintains possession all the way through it, and looking at it there in slow motion, it's even more impressive.
After further review, the ruling on the field of a catch is confirmed. It'll be second down.
Well, that's confirmed then.
Yep.
So they enough evidence say yes, it was a catch. It almost looked like the second hand was the defender's hand, which helped secure the football.
No question.
And this is not how Rocky Long wanted this drive to evolve. He wanted a defensive stop, and here's Utah State on the move again in San Diego State territory with a manageable second down.
You're running out of time here. You almost have to get more defensive.
Oh greodness, another snap that pops out of the hands of Love, and on his back foot he wings one down the field, and it's incomplete.
Great play.
Darren Hall on the coverage.
But that's what makes Love so impressive. He throws that ball late across his body and still almost gets there. And if it wasn't for the impressive play of Darren Hall, just turns and just flicks it effortlessly. Perfect spiral on the money. At the last minute, Hall gets his hand in there.
I've got 4 snaps that have gone on the ground, but to me 3 of them came in and out of the hands of Love.
They're not where they need to be, though. They're low and to the right is what it's consistently seemed like. They've got to get that figured out regardless of whose fault it is.
Third down 3, and it's incomplete. Good coverage. There's your stop. Carson Terrell, the intended receiver, and Dwayne Johnson Jr.
Credit the Aztecs that time by dialing up the pressure. Brought 6 rushers that time. Love was forced to throw the football sooner than he wanted to. They forced the incompletion, which now is going to force the punt here. Aaron
Dalton. Remember, it is 4th down and 3. The football sits at the 42.
Ooh, that would be an aggressive call, wouldn't it?
It would be. Oh, it's dropped by Thompson. Ball is loose. It's still on the floor. They blew it dead, but it wasn't secured. You could hear the whistle and see the ball loose, and San Diego State gets it back. Oh, man.
That was ball game, Rich.
That was Tariq Thompson, one of the safeties.
Thompson hasn't had the best of games tonight. You just simply cannot do that in this situation on that location of the field, regardless of where it is on the field. He's one of the leaders of this defense.
How was that ball not secured by Utah State? You could see it kind of emerge out of that pile.
Just sloppy, unforced errors.
Officials are huddled right now at the 6-yard line.
The ruling on the field is a muffed punt recovered by the receiving team. It'll be first down, San Diego State.
And the football's inside the 10. This was almost a killer turnover, but the Aztecs still have life. 23-10, 8:22 left, fourth quarter. Utah State on top. Next Saturday, CBS Sports Network starts at noon Eastern. In states, Central Michigan, Western Michigan, and then Temple trying to take down Georgia Tech. And 7:30 Eastern, Utah State's at home against Colorado State. There's your series history for that game next Saturday. Last season, Utah State won a tight one in Fort Collins. Here tonight, San Diego State got a 3-0 lead. They've been behind ever since, and it's 23-10, 8:22. Long way to go for a score here. That's a gain of 2 for Jordan Bird, and Devon Anderson made the stop.
You got to get aggressive here if you're the Aztecs. We know that in the past they've been able to explode and have some inside runs. They don't have any run over 15 yards tonight. They have 5 pass plays over 15 yards, 3 of those over 20 yards. They've got to put the ball in the air and push it down the field.
Agnew on the money, caught there. Racing for the sideline is Kobe Smith. That's a nice gain out across the 30-yard line.
Smith gives them their best chance to break plays. This is a nice job, good protection. Agnew's able to step into his throw, puts the ball on the money, and look at the change of direction here by Kobe Smith. The coaches raved about his athleticism. He just turns and runs away from the defense, gets a couple extra yards.
But on the grounds and going nowhere, Naliai made the stop. And let's check in with Jenny Dell. Jenny?
Well, the Aztecs are trying to get it going offensively, but they've been doing it without wide receiver Elijah Cody. So in the first half, he went down with a left wrist injury. They wrapped it up, and he played. But since then, he's come back out, and he has a full-on mitt on his left hand. He has not been in the game in the second half yet.
Tough to imagine, Jenny, him catching a football with that thing. Agnew is flushed and running, fires it into traffic. Catch! Oh, Jesse Matthews. And maybe that's the spark San Diego State needs.
Great concentration, partner, to go up and get that football. The body control, falling backwards in a way. Matthews comes down with a huge catch here in the middle of the fourth quarter. Time is ticking away, but this is what the Aztecs need to do.
That was a 20-yard gain. Oh, Agnew goes down.
Can't do it.
Naliai again.
Naliai's on the bottom of your screen, the left. Nobody blocks him. The tight end releases, the back releases. Nobody accounts for Naliai, who's their best pass rusher, and it's an easy sack, negating a big part of that great play that Smith just made.
Senior transfer from TCU. Many feel an NFL talent.
I'm one of them.
There's an out right at midfield. Isaiah Richardson has the catches out of bounds. Good throw by Agnew, but still work to do on third down and about 5.
Agnew's putting the football on the money, and the receivers doing a nice job of catching the football. Here's a third medium. Obviously, we're in 4-down territory if you're the Aztecs, so the full playbook is open. You can go play action here. You can try and run with some of that inside run zone game, or do some sort of single back counter as Utah State showing some pressure.
Good protection and a drop there by Chance Bell. And now it's 4th down and 5 on a drive where San Diego State absolutely needs a touchdown, because the way Utah State has moved the ball, I don't know that they're going to get 2 more possessions, maybe 1 more.
It's 4-down territory. It's been 4-down territory since the start of the second half. Their strategy to bleed the clock worked really effectively, but the inconsistencies, you cannot drop that pass. That's a concentration drop by Bell this time. Look for a short pass with the football coming out here quickly.
Let's see if they come after Agnew on 4th and 5.
Likes those in-breaking routes from his right-hand side.
Play clock's down. They get it off. Yeah, here comes the blitz. Agnew's throw is caught in traffic. Richardson racing. Richardson to the end zone. Touchdown. Yards. Aztecs aren't done yet.
Oh, if you're Gary Anderson, you're starting to get a little bit tight. That's exactly what this offense needed. Isaiah Richardson, a speedy athlete with great hands. We talked about those in-breaking routes have been the go-to throw for Ryan Agnew all evening long. That time, Richardson lined up as the #1 receiver, cuts in behind the #2 wide receiver that runs the defensive back off, and it's game on, baby.
The kick cuts it to 6.
Well, the Aztecs looked like they were down and out, but the forward pass, imagine that, gets them back in it. Hale Montezuma trying to find a way to win this game.
College football on CBS Sports Network is sponsored by Old Trapper Beef Jerky. What's your beef? By Verizon, the network more people rely on. And by Rogue, don't weaken.
San Diego State has gone 79 and then 91 yards on touchdown drives to get back in this game. 5:19 left, 4th quarter. Rocky Long's ball club still needs another defensive stop. A good strong kick into the end zone. Savon Scarver's going to bring it out. Scarver to the 25, and that's as far as he gets.
Well, you live by the blitz, you die by the blitz. Here they're going to bring the outside. Here's Richardson right here. He's going to come up and catch this football right in the middle, but because it's man coverage, everybody almost blocks themselves here, and there's Richardson running all alone. You get a great block there, and you have a simple double breaking in route, a slant turn into a touchdown because of the aggressiveness of the Aggies and the accuracy of that man right there, Ryan Agnew.
And remember, that was a 4th down and 5. Now Love, an inside screen, which is blown up. Tompkins made the catch, and Hall immediately wrapped him up.
Now, this is interesting because if you're Utah State, you would love to bleed the clock a little bit more, because if you go hurry up and run your normal tempo of offense, all you're doing is giving the Aztecs more time to try and go ahead by 1, which a touchdown and extra point would do.
The eyes of Tizzino.
And they're intentionally slowing it down here, which is unusual for them, but good strategy.
Blitz comes, Love throws, back shoulder, and it's caught. Gorgeous execution there. COC Mariner again against Luke Barku.
COC Mariner, 6'2". Barku 6'1", but the location of that football on the back shoulder makes Barku's job extremely difficult.
Clock is under 4.5 minutes left. San Diego State has 3 timeouts. And Utah State certainly now aware of the play clock.
Yep, and they're going to their check with me strategy where they look to the sideline, which is built into this offense.
Warren, he's had some nice runs tonight. A lot of bodies on him. A gain of maybe 2. 2nd down and 8.
This is an important series of downs here for San Diego State with just under 4 minutes. They've got all 3 of their timeouts. The style of offense they've been playing, they're going to need all 3, so they need their defense to come up big.
Love flushed, running, fires. I don't know if it was inbounds. The sideline wants a catch. The officials confer. No signal yet. That's catch. Wow.
The signal on the field is a catch. That's Terrell.
Ruling on the field is a catch for a first down.
Carson Terrell.
Oh, buddy, that's a catch. That right foot was dragging. And a moot point now.
Jalen Warren now, and this is the danger for San Diego State. This Utah State offense is rhythm. It has momentum right now. It's moving the football, and that clock is melted under 3.5 minutes left.
Obviously, first order of business is to stop them, get the ball back, a turnover. You cannot let them into the end zone. You make this a 2-score game, it's virtually over. This is do or die time here for the Aztecs.
Now the Aggies, they're taking more time, but they're still snapping it with double digits on the play clock. Big hole and a nice gain. Jalen Warren, they have found something here in Jalen Warren. Let everybody know that across the Mountain West. I'm sure a lot of coaches that may have tuned in or are watching this game tape are seeing Warren for the first time. He's really good.
He's the real deal. He's the JUCO Player of the Year in 2018. He's explosive through the hole, got good, not great speed, but he's a physical between the tackle runners. Have been huge for them here tonight. If you're San Diego State, you got to put it all on the line here. You got to get aggressive, and got to think about this clock too. It's just tick, tick, tick.
Yeah, it's time to use a timeout, isn't it? Warren is hit, spins up, stays on his feet, still churning. Now you got to use a timeout, I would think, if you're San Diego State. Because Warren, with a big pickup there, second down and 4. But the clock continues.
I don't know why they're not calling a timeout here. With this offense, they need all the time that they can get. Utah State smartly bleeding this clock. They're in field goal range already.
And, of course, that could put it out of reach.
They've got to sell out here. Why aren't they using a timeout? They've got 3.
Well, it's too late now on this snap on second down and 3. Love throws it, and it's incomplete, and that's as good as a timeout. Flag is down. Now, Barku is saying offensive interference. Mariner is saying defensive interference.
Like Barku's right hand was across the chest of the receiver, but yeah, there was a little push off, but the ball was poorly thrown and not catchable in my opinion.
Pass interference, defense, number 16. Ball replacement, spot of the foul, automatic first down.
That's a tough one.
As Barku grabs his right elbow, but there's no chance that Mariner could have came back and caught that football.
Normally an uncatchable ball is over the head. That one was well behind him.
It's a one-hopper to the shortstop.
Well, now this is getting really bleak for San Diego State. Gary Anderson wants to know why the clock and the play was stopped.
Ruling on the field is an incomplete pass. The previous play is under further review.
I'm not sure what the review is here. Are they reviewing if the ball was tipped? That changes the whole dynamics of pass interference. Let's see if it was. That's close. It
yes,
changes.
The ball changes direction. That ball was tipped.
That's great work. Yes.
Beautiful.
Yes, it was tipped. And so that's not going to be pass interference. Once the ball is tipped, everybody is fair game.
Beautiful shot by the truck. Alecki just gets his fingertips on it. And what a great shot in the foreground there of Barku grabbing the arms of Mariner. Beautiful job by this officiating crew. A beautiful job by the truck to get such good looks at that.
And you don't know, but you suspect maybe a San Diego State coach saw that either on the sideline or up in the booth and called it down.
It makes sense because Love is such an accurate quarterback that it's rare that a ball would be thrown that off target by him.
That's Andrew Alecki.
Bailed out his cornerback big time.
And you go back to, it was an incompletion. So it's a loss of down, obviously, and it stops the clock. They can't restart it until the ball is snapped. If they rule that it was tipped. And I know it was slight, but you could see the spiral of the ball change. You saw the finger flex of Alecki.
No, it was a beautiful job all the way around to get that right, particularly in a critical situation like this. The minute 31, and even a field goal here is extremely detrimental and a dagger to the Aztecs.
After review, it was determined that the pass was tipped at the line of scrimmage. Therefore, there is no defensive pass interference. The ball will be placed at the 26-yard line. It'll be third down.
That's a huge, huge play by Alecki, call by the replay official. And a job well done by our production truck.
This is a pass defense that a week ago against New Mexico State only gave up 60 pass yards in the first half, but got really soft in the second, giving up 239 yards through the air. In this situation, they've got to find a way to get this ball back.
Keep in mind that Utah State is within field goal range, which could put it out of play. And Dominic Eberle, their kicker, has a strong and accurate leg.
Utah State, you've got to convert this, but do you trust putting the football in the air?
Well, that snap almost went wild. Well, that's not going to get it done. San Diego State should use a timeout here. And they do. Troy Cassidy made the stop. Gerald Bright was the ball carrier.
San Diego State has called their first timeout of the half. 30-second timeout.
We've been talking about these snaps all night long, Rich. It's another one. Outside, low and to the right. It throws the timing off of the back because Love has to go retrieve this thing. He puts the ball in the belly of Bright, and it just didn't look right from the beginning, and the Aztecs respond. So we take a look at Eberle there.
Eberle is one of the best kickers, I said it earlier, in the West. He's never missed an extra point. He's like 136 on 136. He's 3 of 3 tonight. He's 5 of 5 on the season. Last year, he hit 3 51-yard field goals in the same game against New Mexico State.
You'd have to think that they're maybe going to use a timeout to try to ice him here, but the way they preserve those timeouts, that's not necessarily a gimme.
He's in a perfect spot on the field for a 42-yarder. To put it away for Utah State. Kick is up, and he missed it.
Wow.
And San Diego State is still alive.
Wow.
Well, the Aztecs have come back, but not all the way. The door is still open, just barely, in San Diego. Dominic Eberle, who's been so good, pushes a 42-yarder wide, and the second half comeback for San Diego State is still alive.
Ryan Agnew's been putting the ball on the money, finds Kobe Smith on the broken play, and then it's Isaiah Richardson taking a quick slant on 4th down to the house. And then it's Eberle, one of the most consistent kickers in the country, certainly in this conference, shanks one from 42 out right down the middle, and the Aztecs are alive. And for as much as we made a Rocky Long in his use of the timeouts, they sit with a minute 18 with 2 in their pocket.
Crossing pattern underneath. Agnew hits him, and tumbling down is Kobe Smith.
So the clock will stop until they're ready for play on the first down. The officials will get it set, and when they wind it up, it'll start to roll. Here it is.
Remember, it's a 6-point lead. A touchdown and an extra point would win it. Christopher Unga got a hand on it. Clock stops. 2nd down and 10.
And if you're Utah State, you've had success rushing 3 and dropping 8. The receivers have had trouble finding ways to get themselves open, as Unga, who's a much better run stopper than a pass rusher, was able to knock that ball down.
Where are the soft spots in this defense right now?
It depends how they rush. They're going to keep everything inside and in front.
Agnew middle shot. Ooh, incomplete. And a hard shot on Kobe Smith.
So there they rush 3, drop 8, go a deep cover 3. That divides the back end of the field into thirds. The cornerbacks have the deep third. The safety has the middle third. The other cornerback has the other third. All the Aggies are thinking is keep everything inside and in front. Let's bleed this clock, make them use their timeouts, and don't get beat over your head.
3rd down and 10. Agnew flushed, stops, fires. Oh, incomplete. Had a man out there. That was Isaiah Richardson, who had the catch and run for a touchdown. And now San Diego State is down to their last down. 49 seconds left. It is 4th down and 10.
Agnew's been under duress all night. He got happy feet there. He didn't need to bail. He got a little nervous, but he taken a little bit more time. Like we saw him miss the touchdown, he might have been able to complete that ball. Here's the ball game, Rich.
4th down and 10. 4-man rush. Agnew flush right side. Sets in trouble. Spins out of it. In real trouble. All the way back to the 10. Agnew trying to escape, and he doesn't. He flips it. Ball is loose. And it's recovered there. It's incomplete. And Utah State is going to win this football game. Nick Henniger, Justin Tae chased him all the way down to the 1-yard line.
They're discussing whether or not this was a fumble or an incomplete pass.
My goodness.
And now there's a flag on the field. Intentional grounding is what I would suspect, given the location and how late this flag's coming out.
Intentional grounding. Offense, number 9. Loss of down. The ball will be placed at the spot of the foul. It'll be Utah State ball. 1st down.
And Utah State up by 6 now. That's great pursuit and great hustle. Tehi got there, hauled him down. Henniger was there as well.
This is the story of the night. You saw Agnew try to flip the ball.
Everly feels a little better about things.
Thanks, boys.
Now you would expect just take a knee.
Wow, what an ending.
San Diego State came roaring back, got the football back, but couldn't convert. That 3rd down and 10 miss turned into 4th down and 10 and run for your life. And Agnew just lost ground and never had a chance. What a win for this Utah State team. In a tough road environment, the Aggies serving notice to the Mountain West that they are going to be a title contender this year. They are now 2-1, and they open the Mountain West at 1-0.
This is only the 2nd time, Rich, since 1967 that Utah State has beaten San Diego State. And to your point, it was a huge, huge victory with end of the season ramifications.
Our Old Trapper player of the game, we're going with Jordan Love.
Jordan Love was masterful tonight. Wheeling, dealing the ball, extending plays, keeping his eyes downfield. Had some center quarterback exchange issues. The locations of the snaps weren't what they needed to be. But when you take a look at what he's done, almost 300 yards, 30 for 47, masterful.
All right, let's go down to the field and Jenny Dell. Jenny?
All right, Jordan. Not quite the offensive performance that you guys have had to this point in the season. It got a little hairy there at the end as well, but how would you grade the overall game here tonight?
I mean, we got to win. That's all we can ask for. That's what we played the game for. It doesn't matter, I mean, how the offense does, how the defense does. I mean, we got to win, so.
And this is the first win of Mountain West play. How much does that help out, and how important is it to get that first big win here?
Oh, yeah, it means a lot. I mean, we break on Mountain West champs every day, and we knew this was the first step to that, so we got the job done.
When you look back at this game, what are your takeaways in getting you prepared for Colorado State next week?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of stuff we can go back and look on film and see that we can do better and stuff like that. A lot of stuff we'll learn from. So just go back and watch the film and learn from that.
Congratulations on a great one.
Thank you.
All right, thank you, Jenny. He was 30 of 47 for 293. That was a fun ride, Aaron Taylor. Final score, Utah State 23-17 for Aaron Taylor, Jenny Dell, our entire CBS crew. I'm Rich Waltz. This has been a presentation of CBS Sports Network, the 24-hour home of CBS Sports. Back to New York, Brent Stover, Kevin Carter, Danny Cannell staying up late in our New York studio inside college football.